Hi, today we're with Chip. Chip is from Texas. He's a friend of mine from Texas, and he's going to teach us how to make flank steak fajitas, Tex-Mex style. So, Chip, speak slowly and clearly, because he kind of talks like this. So, not really. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get out of your way, and you go ahead and do your thing. Okay?
All right.
All right. And explain to them what's going on.
All right. Hey everyone, flank steak fajitas. Tex-Mex spices. We're going to start with some olive oil, about that much there for about a 2.5 pound flank. Whoops, 1 kilo flank. And we're going to start by slicing a lemon or two. We're going to dump the juice in there. And yet again, and that's a lemon olive oil mix. Hold on now, it's not Greek, even though it looks like it. Some onion flakes, about that much there. A little bit of smoked paprika. Oops. Lemon juice on my hands, about that much. Just for some color. This stuff doesn't really have any flavor. A little bit of sea salt. Keep in mind this is about a 1 kilo flank. A little bit of black pepper. Oops. How do you operate this, Chris?
Oh, I can show you that.
Oh, that. Yeah. Show me the fancy thing.
Big time technology here, you know. How much you want?
Oh, it's electric.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Well, we're in Europe now, so. So tell me when.
Keep going.
Okay. Takes a long time this way.
Yeah,
you can pour it out of a package faster, but you know what? It's not the same.
That's technology for you.
This is where we run out of batteries, right?
Oh, got it.
How much?
That should be good.
Okay, so that's about
half a teaspoon.
Yeah, half of a spoonful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have some ground cumin. About that much there. And some ground coriander. Much less than the cumin. It's pretty strong flavored. Some crushed chili flakes. About yay. A little bit of garlic powder. It actually tastes better than fresh garlic in this recipe. A couple of shakes. Can't ever have too much garlic. And this is homemade. You can get any of these peppers dried over here. It's a mixture of adobo, chipotle, and ancho. So shake in about that much. It's not really spicy, it just gives a good flavor to any meat that has a thick grain. And lastly, just a touch of red habanero, not much. And we put coriander, which is the seeds of the cilantro plant, and then we garnish with the leaves of the cilantro plant. It's real fast, just pick it up. It doesn't matter if there's stems because everything gets burnt off on the grill. And this is just flavoring. It kind of gives a fresh taste to the meat. Also prevents the meat from spoiling. You can keep it in the fridge for about 5 days after you cook it. Don't try that with pork or chicken. And I know Europe likes to use parsley. Here's a tip, people. Parsley and beef is absolutely forbidden by the laws in Texas. They don't go well together. Basically, once you have all the ingredients for the marinade, mix it all up together with a fork. It doesn't really matter how you do it. This is pretty much how to marinate a flank steak in one pan. No mess, minimal stuff for the woman to clean up later. And this is a plancha with 3 cooking zones. Chris has very kindly agreed for me to try it out today. I'm excited to try it. If you see the meat, yes, I just washed my hands, people. If you see the meat, it's a very thick, loose grain. That's typical of flank steak. It absorbs marinated rub like a fat woman eating cake. And you basically just let it sit for a minute. Flip it on over. Spread the leaves and marinade and oil on both sides of the flank. And basically you put it in the fridge for 24 hours. You can do it as quickly as 4 hours if you're in a rush. That's the advantage and beauty of thick grained meat. It absorbs marinade and rub real quick. And that's good for now. Chris, I think we're ready to put that in the fridge and open a beer.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, boys and girls. So now we have some white onions chopped up into thin half circles. We have a little bit of fine chopped white onions, and we have green peppers, bell peppers, chopped up into thin slices. Those will go on the grill. And here is the salsa picante, which we make with chopped tomatoes, a little bit of lemon juice, a touch of salt, and some fine diced onions. And as much heat and hot sauce as you want to add. I'm going to keep it mild today because I am not in Texas, I am in Europe, so I will keep it mild. There's a little bit of hot sauce in there, but people can always add sauce into their fajitas before they wrap it up to their desired spice level. So that's basically it. Garnish it with a few cilantro leaves. Once again, boys and girls, cilantro, not parsley. Mix it up. It actually gives a really good flavor to just about anything. Cilantro is just that versatile. Next, the guacamole crudo, which is not smooth guacamole paste like you can get at the grocery store and restaurants, but it's real stuff. You just squeeze out a couple of avocados, Haas being preferred. You keep it with the seed in there while you're storing it so that the avocado doesn't turn black. Whoops, there it goes. We have an avocado tree coming up in Sofia next year. Mash up the guacamole. Squeeze another lemon into it. Salt optional. I prefer it without salt, but people can always add salt into it if they prefer. And that's basically the fixings for the fajitas. Onions, green peppers, avocados, and tomatoes. No sour cream. That is reserved for burritos. No cheese. That is reserved for quesadillas. These are fajitas. And by the way, there is no such thing as a chicken fajita because a faja is a skirt steak, and chickens don't have skirt steaks. That would be called a gordita. But if you go to Texas or northern Mexico and say, "Can I have a gordita?" they send out 2 fat women for you because that's slang for a fat girl. That's pretty much it.
All right, so we're gonna fire up the plancha right now. And this is a 3-burner plancha. So basically it's like a griddle in English, or a plotcha, but it has 3 different zones. So made in France, beautiful, very high quality. We just push this button in and press the starter on the side. Poof, there it goes. And we're going to leave this one on high for steak. We're going to take this guy, start him, and then we're going to put him on medium for the vegetables. And this one as well, we're just going to go and put it on medium as well. And so now Chip will be able to do his magic with the steak on this side and vegetables on this side at a lower temperature. So there we are.
So we have the green peppers and onions here. We're going to salt them a little bit. A little bit of olive oil is your friend. Not much, just enough to keep them sticking and burning to the hot cast iron surface. Because from what Chris tells me, this plancha gets pretty hot. Mix it up a bit. Not much, it's like it'll all mix on the grill anyway. Barbecuing and grilling, especially North American style, is a no-brainer. It is simple, healthy, clean, and minimal maintenance. Dump that stuff on the plancha. Oh, look at that. You weren't joking, Chris. This thing does heat up pretty quick.
Told you.
Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to do a North American breakfast on this. Home fries, eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes. You boys up for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. We're up for it. Look at this American trying to do a French plancha. There you go. Let's see if you can do it.
That's beautiful. The onions are already starting to get a little brown. So basically what I would do for this is put a big cast iron skillet on a charcoal grill and do this. But this is pretty good. You can do just about everything on this. I am impressed, Chris. You were right. Not bad. Now that we've got the initial searing done, we're going to turn the heat down a little bit so that they don't become charcoal bits. And real easy controls. There you go. Now we're going to come back in a few minutes and check on them. It doesn't need much maintenance. You don't need to stand over here like, you know, indoor cooking with a saucepan and a stir stick. There you go.
All right.
So it's nice and hot enough. Oh, you got the steak. Thanks,
I
Chris.
got the steak, man.
Nice.
It's fresh out of the fridge, as are these.
Nice.
I'm just going to crack them open for us.
So, overnight, the steak is just starting to get a little brown on the edges, which means that the lemon juice is doing its job and kind of tenderizing the fibers and partially cooking it. That's what the ancho and the adobo do as well, which is why we use those 3 peppers in order to marinate fajita steak, flank steak. Perfect. So let's slap this bad boy on.
Let's see how it works.
Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about. Hello there.
Oh, thanks, folks.
That's what I like.
Cheers. European Budweiser. I hear it tastes better than American Budweiser.
It does.
It does. I like Europe.
Yeah.
Cheers, Chris. No
All right.
doubt.
That's what I like.
So we're just going to let this steak sear for about 4 or 5 minutes.
That's looking very nice. Very nice.
Now we're going to flip this bad boy. This is normal, all the burnt bits. We can scrape it off, put it back on top, but this is what gives flavor. A little bit of caramelized stuff on there. Put this down on the other side. Rest this bad boy here. And let's scoop some of the leftover marinade on the other side. It's going to get smoky, it looks messy, but this is absolutely going to be delicious.
Oh, it looks delicious.
That's how you do it.
Nice. And that's why you use a plancha.
That's why I use a plancha. I am impressed, Chris.
Yeah, what can I say, you know?
Spread these guys out there, pretty much done. We're just keeping the vegetables warm right now, that's all.
Right on.
There's one thing that you can't see in the video is notice the amazing smells coming from this giant 3-zone griddle in front of me.
I see the boys down at the car wash are already putting their nose up.
So I'm used to convection to cook a large piece of beef. So this is probably not necessary, but I still find it useful. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to make a few more cuts over here. Pour the rest of the marinade on top. And this is what keeps it moist. We're going to put that back over here. We're going to flip the vegetables around, and they are pretty much done. All that needs to do is be kept warm. So these don't have open grates like a grill, a gas grill or a charcoal grill, what's called a barbecue over here, to get rid of the excess grease. But it does have these very nice grease channels so that you don't want everything swimming in grease necessarily. You can just channel it off, spoon it off, and it collects into 2 grease trays at the bottom. And that's pretty much it. So now we're going to put the tortillas on the grill, and it doesn't matter if you use corn or flour. The trick is to have them soft and flexible so they wrap around well around the fajita without splitting apart. Spritz each one with water because they do steam well. Bob's your uncle, right on the plancha. So the grill's been turned off. The steak has rested for about 7 minutes. The tortillas are warm. Everything should be just about ready to go. So the best way to do this is to cut it in half, and it is medium pink everywhere, just like a fajita should be. Cross cut it against the grain. Pieces are about 1/4 inch thick. Sorry, 7.75 of a centimeter. That's about as much as you want for one fajita. A little stripe of guacamole on about half the fajita. Some onions and peppers. You don't want to overstuff these. A lot of people make the mistake of overstuffing these and then they find out they cannot wrap up the tortilla. A little bit of salsa. And you can add the meat in there. The hot sauce is strictly optional. I made these reasonably spicy. And you see what I mean by overstuffing it? It doesn't take much to overstuff it. And since we eat these with our hands, you can just go ahead and bite into this just like it is. Just hold it close with your hands and chow. That's all, folks. Hope you enjoyed this.
That was it? That's your final thing?
I was waiting for a nice bite and be like, oh, it's so good.
And there it is. Absolutely delicious, if I might say so myself.